Hey y'all, it's DJ Kitty.
And Miss Morningstar.
And you are tuned into Our Plugs, a community connection where culture, commerce, and community come together on one powerful platform.
Absolutely. This is a show that connects Black and minority-owned businesses, nonprofit organizations, entrepreneurs, community leaders, and change makers all in one place. We don't just talk, we build, we uplift, and we plug you into the resources that help our community grow.
Yep. From business ownership and financial empowerment to mental health, education, arts, culture, and justice, this is a space where real conversations meet real solutions.
I know that's right. So wherever you're listening, whether it's from home, at work, or on the move, stay locked in because you're officially plugged into Our Plugs, the community connection.
Now let's get into today's show. Good morning, Holly Springs, Mississippi. Good morning, Memphis, Tennessee. It is good to see you. Happy Wednesday. Yes, we are halfway through the week. Thank you, Jesus. There's nothing like being halfway through the week. We're almost there, y'all, and there's nothing like almost. Oh, my goodness. I'm ready for the weekend. I don't know about the rest of y'all, but this week has been a week already, and it's only a couple days in a week, but that's all right. We're going to get through it as we normally do. Let me say good evening to our family and friends on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. We truly appreciate you. And once again, if you are watching this broadcast, please follow us, subscribe, like the live. It really helps us out. We truly appreciate you. And we appreciate you for being a part of our journey. We couldn't do this without you, and we do this for you. It's community connection, community connection. We're connecting the community. So we're doing this for you, and we need your support as well. So thank you so much for all the time that you give to this platform. All right, you guys, as always, y'all hear that? There's your reminder to drink your 16 ounces of water, take your morning medications, get your vitamins in, as well as eat a delicious and healthy breakfast. First meal of the day, best meal of the day, breakfast. Get your breakfast on and come on in and chill out with us. Today we have How's Your Mental? We are blessed with our sister Nikki. We are still sending up prayers for our sister Shanika, who has lost her mother. For all of us who have lost our parents, there's nothing like it. And so we send many prayers to our sister and praying for her peace of mind. Peace of mind. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into these morning affirmations. And we get those affirmations from Miss Morningstar, the affirmation queen. And if you're anything like me, I need a good affirmation to let me get through the day, help me to remember that I am that girl. So I'm going to turn it on over to Miss Morningstar. Good morning, Star, little sister. Good morning, little sister. I said that all together.
That's okay. I know what you meant. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. Wow.
The week. Wild Wednesday.
It is Wild Wednesday. It is hump day. It is the middle of the week. One of my favorite times because I know the end of the road is right there. So we are on our way to freedom for 48 hours, as Kitty said.
48 hours, that's all you get.
Well, I take it. It's better than nothing. So today we are going to get into some affirmations to give you a peace of mind, okay? Because who can't use a peace of mind at this point in time right now? Yeah. I try to center our affirmations around sort of kind of what we're going through because we're going through this collectively as a family, the country, okay? You know, and we just need to hear those good vibes and, you know, grounding, releasing worries, all those things. Affirmations for peace of mind are positive statements that will help shift your focus from stress to tranquility, grounding your thoughts and lowering your anxiety. I deal with anxiety, y'all, so I understand how that can be for those who do. Daily use of specifically breathing and calming and exhaling tension can create a sense of control and self-compassion. Key phrases: I choose peace, I am safe in the moment. I release what I cannot control. So let's get into some of these. Took a deep breath, y'all. Released it.
Yes.
Affirmations that's going to help you, get through some of these troubling times. So grounding and present affirmations. Repeat, I am safe, relaxed, and comfortable in my body. I am where my feet are. I breathe in peace and exhale stress. I am anchored in the present moment. I trust that everything is unfolding in perfect timing. Releasing worry and control affirmations. I release what I cannot control and I trust in the presence. I choose peace over anxiety. I let go of the past and future and I'm rooted in the present moment. I give myself permission to release my anxiety, my anxious thoughts. My anxious thoughts. I am free from overthinking. I take life one day at a time. My mind is a sanctuary of peace. I am calm and I am safe and I'm secure. I am present and I will be positive. I am courageous and I stand up for myself. I will honor my need to rest and recharge. And I embrace my best self on today. And those are your affirmations, guys. I pray that helps somebody.
Amen. Thank you, Miss Morningstar. And I'm quite sure it will. People are going through different things, and you said anxiety, and that is one of the key factors
Yes.
in a lot of people's lives. A lot of people are dealing with anxiety right now because of whatever. It may be
Cleaning.
personal life, it may be work life, it
Yeah,
may be the simple fact that this country is upside down. All kinds of things can contribute to your anxiety, but so you need to find a safe place and a safe space to actually get through those moments. So thank you, Miss Morningstar, for sharing that with the family. So
absolutely.
let's go ahead and get into this weather. Beautiful weather. Let me say that part. Holly Springs today, you have a high of 79, a low of 52. Feels like 77 during the day, 49 at night, with a 2% chance of rain. Winds are out of the south southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Today, it's going to be mostly cloudy. With the humidity is low during the day and moderate at night. Get out there and enjoy it. Holly Springs, 77 degrees. Anything in the 70s is okay with me. Memphis, Tennessee, today you have a high of 80, a low of 56. Feels like 79 during the day, 52 at night. Winds are, I'm sorry, with the 2% chance of rain. Winds are out of the south southeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day as well. Uh, let's see, humidity is low during the day and moderate at night. Get out there, enjoy your day. Enjoy it. We only have one April 8th, 2026. You better know that. Please enjoy your day. H-Town, Houston, Texas. High today of 82, a low of 64. Feels like 81 during the day, 60 at night, with an 18% chance of rain. Winds are out of the east at 10 to 15 miles per hour. It's going to be a partly cloudy day, and humidity is moderate during the day and very high at night. And if you have allergies, go ahead and take your allergy medication at night because unfortunately, that humidity does its in along with that pollen count. And you guys know, like I know, it is springtime. So that means allergy season is upon us. And that is your weather for today. Now let's go ahead and pop into some news that we can use. Miss Morningstar. Now, I wanted to start today's broadcast out with, didn't somebody say something about people had 48 hours? And then all day long I was watching the news and they were saying, the man with the black hands and the cankles and the leprosy on his neck, diaper. He was saying that, oh, they have until 8 o'clock tonight or tomorrow and next week. Now I'm reading Trump agrees to 2 week ceasefire with Iran. delaying large-scale attack. What say you?
When I say words cannot explain how exhausted I am with this idiot, this fool, there should be something in place like the 25th Amendment tonight. Okay?
25th
This is
Amendment.
this is an insane individual. Like he no like no lie, Kitty. He has caused a complete panic in the entire world.
He's insane.
People were in panic mode because they didn't know what he's a psychopath. So nobody, when you're dealing with a psychopath, mental health with mental illness, dementia, whatever else he got going on, and you put the nuclear codes in his hand and you let him just, and nobody's saying anything and they just letting him go.
I can't even express to you, Miss Morningstar, how sick I am of this person. I mean,
It's filthy.
one minute is 48 hours, the next minute is 8 hours. Now it's 2 weeks. Sir, shut up.
In 2 weeks,
You're
his favorite. That's his
embarrassing
favorite.
us. I thought it was only, it's going to be a quick one. You're embarrassing at this time. I am over you. You are embarrassing. Let me read to y'all what this article says, because if I gotta read it, y'all gotta hear it. President Trump said Tuesday he has agreed to a double-sided ceasefire with Iran less than 2 hours before his deadline for Iran to either cut a deal with the U.S. or face massive strikes on its power plants. I have a question. Who did he talk to?
Thank you. Who he talking to, y'all? Y'all know in the chat? Y'all know who he talking to?
Are the people present, or are they just in his head?
Well, he said, and I quote, they're sending kids, you know how they did about 200 years ago. They sending messages through kids with notes, and they run it. I promise y'all, this is what he said.
Say it again, Mr. Morningstar, because
he said out his mouth that the kids of Iran are running notes to officials to tell what the next, because there's no way to communicate because they've knocked everything out. They don't have no military, they ain't got nothing.
Wait a minute, back up.
Yeah, wait.
So if that is the case and they have no way to communicate and nobody can communicate, how does he know that there are kids that are running these quote unquote notes? Is it a note that says, "Will you go with me?" And the box that says
check yes or no,
and one that says no?
Check the box.
Check the box.
Will you blow us up? Will you please not
blow us up? Will you blow us up? Check yes or no.
This fool said like how they used to do it 200 years ago. Okay.
200 years ago.
You know what they did 200? Sir, first of all, 200, what?
Okay, I know what the note said. The note said, are you in the Epstein files? Yes or no? Because what? And
dementia
children are running it to who? Children are running up to what? News reporters? They're running up to who? Who they running it to?
Kitty, when he started saying that, I just tuned out. I said, you got to be kidding me. If I continue to listen to this fool talk, something gonna rub off on me. I don't want it. I don't want whatever it is he got. I don't want it.
I take pride in being smart. I can't stand
block it out.
Stupid people. Then he said, I agree to suspend the bombing and attack of Iran for a period of 2 weeks, the president wrote on Truth. Sir, who did you agree with? Did you agree with Johnny, who sent you the note? Did the note come directly to you?
Well, apparently Pakistan, Pakistan did come to play middleman to have this agreement. Iran already said absolutely ain't no agreements. We ain't opening no strait. You attacked us. It's up and it's stuck. Okay. It's up and it's stuck.
It's stuck there. It's stuck up.
It's
Stuck
up
right
and
up there.
stuck. We ain't negotiating. We don't want to hear nothing you got to say. You know when somebody tell you it's up and it's stuck, ain't nothing you could say to them. Ain't nothing you could say. You might as well go ahead on about your business. And they still coming for you regardless if you choose to go live your life like you ain't did nothing.
Wait, there's more. The voices in his head told him to say this next.
Okay.
He said the ceasefire, which he agreed to at Pakistan's request, was subject to the Islamic Republic of Iran agreeing to the complete and immediate and safe opening of the Strait of Hormuz. I cannot wait to see this Lego video tonight. Lego, let them have it. Let's go, Lego.
Far as
Iran,
straight
come
one
on.
closed. I don't know why they keep saying it's closed. It's closed to you.
It's only close to you, sir. It's close to the U.S. Right, Melbo? Praise be to Allah is what the president of the United States said on Easter Sunday. Praise be to Allah.
Y'all ever seen the Handmaid's Tales? They say praise be. That was one of their sayings in that show. That's one of my favorite series. Praise be. Praise be.
All I know is, sir, I need the adults to enter the chat, and I need the adults to come on with the 25th Amendment and put us out of our misery. This is miserable. You know what? We need to open up a class action lawsuit against
I
our
think
government.
so. I'm with it. Who already? Y'all ready to go?
I'm with it.
I'm with it. For
the government.
mental distress,
Distress, anxiety, everything
anxiety,
that I
all
can
of
sue
that.
for. I need to sue the government, the United States government,
Mm-hmm,
because this is
mm-hmm.
ridiculous.
The lies, the misleading, the constant,
The people in his
the
head talking,
threats and the constant ups and downs.
the
Listen,
endless
I'm ready for
threats,
him. I'm sick of it.
the lies, the lies, the lies, sis. That's all I can say is it's
Let me
all lies.
let me tell you how his Trump MAGA allies revolted over his threat to destroy our civilization. So, he said that he was going to destroy their whole civilization. He was going to take out kids, grandmas, grandpas. He didn't care. He was going to take out everybody. That when you threaten to destroy civilization, you don't care who is the target. You're talking about genocide, okay? You're talking about doing genocide. So one of his
nothing.
one of his own MAGA, Queen MAGA, Marjorie Taylor Greene, he's a genocidal lunatic.
Not
Said.
Not Queen MAGA. What you say?
Not a single bomb has been dropped in America. She said we cannot go and kill an entire civilization. This is evil and madness. You think? I thought we
told
y'all
you that
a long time ago. I mean,
there's
thought we told y'all that.
There is a beautiful Black woman, and I believe her name is Kamala.
Yeah.
Who took the time to tell folks
Yeah.
that this was going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah, Alex Jones too. I was gonna get into that too, Melbo. So so it was her, and then it was let's see, the 20th Amendment needs to be invoked. Oh, that's what she said. And then podcaster Alex Jones, y'all know who he is. He crazy as that, but he gone on his own loony time by himself. But he even said this is genocide. He's talking as if he's a Marvel comic. And he's like, I am proud I backed Trump last 10 years, but what's going on now has to be stopped. He's, really, it's really out of control.
He was proud that he backed a PDF.
Well,
he was proud that he backed
can't change all
an adjudicated rapist. He was proud of that.
Alex. He said this is a new Trump. This isn't the old Trump. This is a new Trump.
It's the
And
same
this
Trump
Trump is
thing.
unhinged and yeah. Even Carl, what's it? Tucker's, what's his
Carl
name?
Tuckerson.
Yeah, Tucker's that weird one. Okay, he even got on his
Oh,
podcast
they
and
don't like
said,
him. MAGA's mad at
"Oh, he
Tucker
went in on
Carlson.
Trump."
Yeah, they're mad at him. Tucker
Yeah.
he done tore his drawers with MAGA. But don't nobody care. Don't nobody care.
Listen,
I'm just waiting for somebody with a little bit of common sense to step in and say, "Sir, we're gonna put you in this room right here. Here's your
let,
phone, and
let,
it's not connected to any service. And here's your phone, and then here's you a TV," and they put it on some old war movies and let him think that is a war. And 25th Amendment him, but we need to clear the entire administration.
but Kitty, let me
JD Dan,
ask you a
none of
question.
them need to
And
come
I
in.
know we gotta take a break, and we'll come
Uh-huh.
back. You can answer when we come back. Do you believe? Okay, Iran called for young people and like athletes and everybody to form a chain, a human chain, around their power plants, and they did. Right? They did. I mean, it was a lot of them to trying to save their country. Like, you cannot do this. You will eliminate us. They did. But Trump claims that they were happy that they were booming them. He said they were saying, "Sir, please keep on booming us. Please." This is words out of his mouth. He was like, "Yeah, they live." It was one family live 10 yards from where a boom hit. And they said, "Keep it coming. We want out of it." I'm just asking you, do you really believe that these people are willing to negotiate and open up the Strait of Hormuz in 2 weeks?
Do I believe it? I don't believe anything that man says. Is his name even Trump? Nope, it's not even Trump.
These
It's Trump.
people formed a human chain. They were ready to go. If you're
Yeah.
gonna do it, we gonna go fighting. Because that is who they are.
Mm-hmm.
They are a nation that has been born to live and die for this.
Yeah. And he said that, they want them to do this. Sir, there he goes again. Listen to them voices in his head. Them voices is telling him that he's a young stud. And anyway, I'm gonna go ahead.
Up in my mouth.
We
Don't say
gonna
that
we gonna
again.
yeah, I know. We gonna go
Oh,
ahead and go to break because you and
we
I
need a
both
break.
know ain't nothing young or stud
We
about
need a
that.
break.
Anywho, you are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We'll be right back after this quick commercial break.
Advertising with Our Plugs. The community connection opens doors to a whole new ballgame. Radio advertising is affordable, powerful, and puts your business directly in front of the people who want to support you. Plus, customers can easily find and connect with you anytime through our online directory. If you're ready to grow your brand, expand your reach, and stay connected to the community, sign up today. Visit ourplugs.com and register now. That's ourplugs.com. Plug into your community.
What's up, everybody? Scott Cologne, District Attorney and candidate for the United States Senate for the great state of Mississippi. I had a great time talking about my campaign with the crew at the Community Connection morning radio show. I'm running because Mississippi matters. Our families are paying more for less, and our rural hospitals are under serious threat. I spent my career fighting for my community, and I'll bring that same fight to Washington. Folks in the Holly Springs area and worldwide should check out our convo and visit cologneforsenate.com because Mississippi matters.
At Lovership Apparel, we believe what you wear should remind you of who you are. This is where love meets style. From our signature beautiful hoodies created to remind you to show up as your full authentic self, to our bold her shirts designed for women who know their worth and wear it proudly. Lovership Apparel is more than clothing, it's a movement. Our comfortable confidence-boosting leggings move with you, while our statement backpacks carry your essentials and your purpose wherever life takes you. Every piece is intentionally designed to inspire self-love, confidence, and authenticity, because you deserve to wear something that speaks life into you. Whether you're stepping out, showing up, or standing firm in who you are, Lovership Apparel is made for you. Visit lovershipapparel.com and wear the reminder, be you to the fullest.
Welcome to Compassion Counseling and Training Services, LLC, where healing takes flight. I am Nicole Wiley, licensed independent clinical social worker, and we empower children, individuals, families, and couples through individualized therapy via telehealth. Using evidence-based approaches like CBT and mindfulness, we help clients build resilience and rediscover their wings. If you're ready to begin your journey, visit CompassionCounselingandTrainingServices.com. This is Transformation Training Academy. If you're someone that people walk up to and just talk to and tell all their business to and they don't know you, this is your sign. If you're ready to level up, Transformation Training Academy is ready for you. Coach Nikki and Counselor Nikki push you past your limits into your purpose. We help you break patterns, build confidence, and create real change. Your breakthrough isn't someday, it's today. Contact us at info@thetransformationtrainingacademy.com.
Are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Now, Miss Morningstar, did you hear what the acting AG said about Pam Blondie? He said he doesn't know, we don't know why, nobody has any idea why Frumpy fired Pam Blondie. Well, we don't know why he even hired her.
Or you.
Or you,
sir. Because you was a loser.
I mean,
you ain't won not one cat trial.
Yeah, I'm trying to understand why these people were hired in the first place. Could it be because they had the right complexion? Because if I'm not mistaken, they were screaming about DEI hires, and y'all look at what the state of the country is. Let me ask y'all, have y'all went and put gas in y'all car lately? Oh my God. I'm so glad I have a hybrid. But my vehicles that are not hybrid, they're sitting in a garage. I'm gonna have to, limit my look. That's a weekend car if I go anywhere on the weekends, because I don't want to have to pay this type of money for gas. Now, if I have to, I would. But what about those who don't have that opportunity? They're stuck with paying these high gas prices. Prescription drugs have gone up. Housing costs everything has gone up but wages. And it's because they put the wrong people in office, including the man with the black hands. Jinx, thank you. Jesus died for you as well, baby. Thank you.
We know this, but apparently the commander-in-chief don't know nothing about none of
No,
that.
he doesn't know anything about it, Jinx. That's the scariest part about it.
You don't know nothing about none of that.
Worshiping, I could have swore there's somewhere in the Bible where it says that you should not idolize anybody.
No. It's sad. And most of this, what we are going through, people got to realize what we are going through at this moment did not have to be at all.
No,
at all.
Kamala
None
told
of
us.
this. I mean, Kamala said it. She gave the layout. She gave the plan. I know we can't go back and change it, but that's what it is. We still gonna remind it. But it still didn't have to be. He did not have to go through any of this. No, if he wanted to be president, he could have just annoyed us and got on our nerves, but not did all this.
Where's BB? Where's BB? Anybody seen BB? Has anybody heard from BB? Has BB made a statement? Has he made an appearance? Where is Netanyahu? Where's he at?
He been around.
Where?
Hiding.
So.
Even the Pope got involved. And how, the Pope spoke in English, clear English. And he said, like, this is like ridiculous. You can't threaten human life. You can't war, of course the Pope is going to speak peace, but I mean, like, this is why this is clear, cut, and dry. Okay? Invoke, get this man out of office. Get this demon out of here. I know it's another demon waiting in line.
Yeah, well, we need somebody
about him too.
We need somebody that has some sense, and nobody in that administration does.
Yeah.
There's not one person in that administration that is qualified to even sit in the seat that they're sitting in. Cash App Patel, Cash App, cross-eyed, cricket letter, he's not qualified. None of them are. From the top to the bottom, rooted to the tutor, none of them are qualified. And yet it shows every single day with the actions of a few has destroyed so much in this country. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm going to say to all of this? We will get up to live another day, and this too shall pass. He's not going to be here for forever. Thank you, Jesus. Just keep it moving and stay as positive as possible. Speaking of positive, let's get into today's topic. Today we have Counselor Nikki who's going to bless us. And I know that there is a lot of people who have children with autism and Asperger's and a form of autism. And, they get a really bad taboo or bad, kids are whatever. Let's get into it. Autism acceptance and awareness today, because right now it hasn't been right now we need to focus on us. How about that? Let's focus on us and our children. Let's go ahead and bring our sister up, Miss Morningstar. Hey, Nikki, I see you, honey.
Hey.
How are you?
Good morning.
Look at that shirt.
I love your shirt.
Yes.
Is that your books?
That's the book.
This is both of the books. This is a crossover shirt with both of them in there. So
okay.
Yeah, I have a store now.
Okay, you have a store. Good.
Yes,
through
yes.
Etsy, or what is it through?
It's on Printify.
Okay, good.
Yeah, Compassion Creations on Printify.
Okay.
Perfect. You
Nice.
got to drop that on over in Our Plug so we can go ahead and support sis. All right. So today is Autism Acceptance and Awareness. I'm glad that we're speaking on this. There's so many people who actually need to hear this message. So I am going to be quiet and turn the floor over to you.
So this month, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff because there's a lot of things going on this month. So autism is just one of them. Because it's Autism Awareness Month, it's Child Abuse Prevention and Awareness Month. It's a lot of stuff happening. So today we're just going to talk about autism. I do think that this is something that people don't understand. I remember at one point hearing our very intelligent speaker, the president, saying, there's a lot of people being diagnosed with autism now. Maybe if we just stop screening for it, testing for it, then the numbers will go down. And then you got
let's not bring up anything that somebody
he said something about COVID. Remember?
Yeah, he said the same thing.
Yeah, so I guess that's his go-to. Just don't.
Yeah, his go-to is if we just stop testing and stop talking about it, then it won't be real.
So if it's COVID and autism, next it can be cancer and HIV, anything.
Yeah. So yeah, anything. If you just stop testing.
Just don't test.
Stop making people aware about it, and let's just be done with it. It's over now. So
sweep it up the rug.
Right. And his homie, who's over all of our health, has told everybody that it has to do with vaccinations. And this has been something that's been dispelled years and years and years and years ago, that vaccinations don't have anything to do with it. So the reason that it's more prevalent now is because we are talking about it. We are testing for it. We understand it better. And so it doesn't have anything to do with the vaccinations, and it doesn't have anything to do with, let's just not say anything else about it. It's not real.
Mm-hmm. You're right. You're absolutely correct. And why not do a deep dive and make sure that you're giving the best care to your children possible? Oh, yeah. Let's not forget acetaminophen. He couldn't say that word.
Right.
Acetaminophen.
Right. And he was like,
Tylenol.
Right. He said, oh.
Acetaminophen.
What's this word?
What's this word?
Right.
Yeah. Let's not forget.
Yes. So you can you get a lot, most people get diagnosed nowadays in childhood, but you can be diagnosed later on in life if it was something that, if you're older. There's a lot of adults now being diagnosed because they, we didn't know as much years ago, so it might have got missed, but now we're like, oh, that's what this is, right? So one thing to know is that it's kind of more it's a spectrum of how it presents. So with someone who is autistic, it's a neurodevelopment difference. It's something with your neurology, it's your makeup. It's not something that is just like if you think about like bipolar disorder or schizophrenia, some of that stuff has to do with the chemicals. This is the makeup of your brain.
Yeah.
And so it impacts communication and social interaction. It includes sensory, like touch, stuff like that. Your senses, your 5 senses, you take that in consideration. So it might have some processing differences with the way that things are done with your senses and how you experience your senses, which is why sometimes you'll see people with headphones on, because when things are too loud, then that's too much. So it affects your senses. And it's a wide spectrum of strengths and support needs. So that's one thing I want to put out there. It's a spectrum. It's not like one size fits all. Everybody who is diagnosed with it does not present the same way.
Yeah. And that's the one thing that I've noticed. You will see one child who is autistic, and they may be able to still manage, but then you'll see another child who has heightened senses. Is it senses? Yes.
Sensory, yeah.
Sensory. And, it's not across the board. You can't just label it, oh, they're autistic. You actually have to do a deep dive so you can know how to be there for your child.
Exactly.
So they all require different therapeutic methods, right?
Yes.
I mean, you have some children that I've seen I've seen a documentary, a woman who keeps a documentary of her autistic child, and he's violent with his autism. And they have different methods and therapeutic ways to calm him, to try to deal with that. That's tough,
Right.
It's a lot of different things.
And that's the whole thing about it. It's kind of like you have to, if you have an autistic child, like they're going to present different depending on, because it's about how they interact with the world around them. It's about how they communicate, because some children with autism, because of how the spectrum is, are nonverbal, which means they can't talk. So some children can't talk, or maybe they're limited speech. You know what I mean? So think about if I'm trying to tell you something and you can't get it, how that might affect you as far as like how you're feeling. If I'm trying to convey something I need and you can't understand it and I can't say it, that's frustration. That's going to be some anger. That's going to be some lashing out because I'm trying to tell you, but you're not listening.
Yeah.
Or I'm overwhelmed and my sensories are overloaded. So I'm lashing out because I don't know what else to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, like you said, most people are diagnosed as children. And if you notice that your child is nonverbal or you're not understanding, you see a difference in your child and your child isn't comprehending and moving in the right way. The first step would be what? Going to your pediatrician and having them start doing the testing?
Yes. So the thing about it too is with a lot of times it shows up, we'll notice a lot of this stuff in school age, as they're getting closer to starting school, because we're still developing. And sometimes you have to decide if it's the child's environment, because maybe I have an adult who has maybe limited education or parents different. And so maybe I'm not hitting some of those milestones. So it's really as they're starting to get closer to go to school when some of this stuff is going to pop out.
Yeah.
You can tell earlier, but usually it's around right when you're about to go to school. And a lot of times you and your pediatrician, the pediatricians have this chart. And I don't know if you all ever seen this. It's like a developmental chart. And it says, at this age, and they're starting to give it out, like people who get WIC or get different assistants or like, just in different places. If you go to the clinic, they have like little pamphlets and they'll say, hey, when your child's this age, these are some of the things they should be doing. And some of that is to give you an idea about where they should be at in their development. So they should be, trying to pick stuff up. They should be crawling. They should be doing this. So if they're not hitting those different milestones, that's your cue to go talk to your pediatrician and say, hey, I noticed she's not crawling. I noticed she's not making noises. I noticed this is not happening. And, should I be concerned? And sometimes children do what they want to, and, they might do it later. I just don't feel like doing it right now. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
My child, she didn't
What
crawl.
type of because I'm kind of ignorant to the testing part. I don't know. What type of testing do pediatricians actually do? Is it a set of different skill level tests to determine if they are suffering from autism? Is it something more intrusive? I mean, what sort of testing do they do?
So it's some of the stuff is you giving them information. You're collecting information, right? So they're looking at like some of the characteristics that you might see would be communication differences, the way they interact with children, or they don't. There's certain ages when you should start playing with other children, or at least wanting to be around other children. And when you're separating yourself and kind of off to the side, that can be an indicator. Sensory activities, right? So the music, touching stuff like touching tactile stuff, grabbing stuff, doing different things. So there's different things they're going to try to have, skills, like you said, that they're going to have the child do, along with also getting some information from the parent. Looking for repetitive behaviors, like they just continue to do the same type of behaviors, different things like that. So it's different things that you're looking for, and trying to see if they're on track with their development.
Yeah, that's good information. I know P is in the chat. She said her son was diagnosed at the age of 5, and she's saying that I assume that there are several different ways that pediatricians are using to identify where your child is at. And the development chart, we've had that for forever on how the child is developing. And I think that is one of the key factors. And then from there, how do you, in my opinion, I've always wondered, how do parents go from, okay, I have this diagnosis for my child. Now what? What do I do now? How do I make sure that I give my child what he or she needs so that they can be functioning adults?
One of the awesome things is that now, with the more that we know about it, all the research that has happened and the conversations that we're having, now that we know about it more, there's so many programs out here for parents, right? So I tell people, if you're starting to notice something before the child gets in school, take them to the pediatrician, start doing this questionnaire, get them diagnosed, and then the world opens up to you. There's all these different programs that they have, and they'll teach you as the parent how to adapt and change things and understand your child, because it's different, right? So it depends on where your child is affected. If it's a sensory thing, then the thing that you as a parent have to do is learn what, overloads their their senses, what, sends them into kind of that rage. Can they communicate? Can they not communicate? And you have to create that safe space for them at home. If you can get them diagnosed before they go to school, you can set up an IEP form at school where they have certain people around them. They have certain things that they can work with them on and do. Maybe they only have them in a classroom with everybody for a certain amount of time, but they have somebody, and maybe they have somebody with them. So it just depends on what their needs are. And then you as the parent are trying to adapt your household and change your household for those needs. But it's something that has to be learned. It doesn't happen overnight. It comes with you watching and understanding and being patient, and you having a community where you can reach out, where you're taking care of yourself, on top of all that.
I was definitely going to say that, like, building a community, working with other parents, and maybe being part of some sort of program where you can get information and see how other children or parents are dealing with maybe some of the similarities. I always think community is good because it outshines any medical treatment and all. To me, once you put a kid in a community with people that's like them, and they kind of start, developing.
Yes.
Things change. Has there ever been any, and you might not know this question, like any studies that they outgrow the autism, or
So
or
No, it's
they
not.
not outgrow it, but maybe they learn as adults how to deal with their, with their
how to
disability,
manage it?
right? How to manage, because I've seen plenty. I have a nephew. I mean, plenty that go out and be adults and live a
Yeah,
regular life.
yeah,
Absolutely. And again, it depends on where you're at on the spectrum. But it's not, there's not a cure. So it's not like we can just give you some medicine and
Right.
so that's what I'm saying when I say it's not like depression, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, stuff like that, where you can take medication that'll
Right.
help those chemicals in your brain to even out. It's something that you have to adapt to. You have to understand. You have to accept and appreciate. You know what I mean? And you have to change the environment. So
Right.
you're learning to use clear and direct communication. You're offering some choices. You're respecting, if they need a little space or a little time, or they need to go away from everybody for a minute. You're creating predictable routines. You're validating feelings. You're avoiding forcing eye contact. Right?
yeah.
People who are autistic are super smart.
Yes.
They
It's
are
just,
extremely smart.
Extremely intelligent
Yes.
and
and
creative,
so
and very
Mm-hmm.
some of them
Very
are
creative.
very creative,
mhm,
artistic.
Mm-hmm.
I call it beautiful minds, because
Yeah.
some of
yes,
the things that they produce is amazing.
Yeah.
just
Absolutely. Go ahead, Nikki.
go ahead. I was gonna say, just the way that they experience the world is different. The way they see things is a little different. But I think that's another myth. People think they don't understand, because if I can't talk, people think I don't understand. I understand exactly what you're saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just not communicating with me in the way I need you to.
Exactly. And a lot of people have to understand that it's not forcing. So I want to take it back to like in the 70s, 80s, 90s, because autism has always been around. It's
Mm-hmm.
just we did not know what it was. And then, you know, some people in their minds, well, I have to change my child so my child will be just like everybody else, not realizing that every last one of us on this planet, we're all different.
Yeah.
Yes.
Every last one of us. So why change your child to conform when you just really need to understand how to understand your child? That's
Mm-hmm.
to me, that's most important. Understanding how to raise your child versus, you can't just, down the cross the board, everybody has to do it this way. That's not real life to me. I know our TikTok chat is going in, and I love it,
Yeah. I love
because we
it.
are going to answer some of your questions as soon as we come back off of our break. I see that Pete, thank you so much for being here and contributing. I truly appreciate you. Coach Nikki, Ulysses, we are going to get back to you guys' comments. Let's do this first. Let's take our break, and then Coach Nikki, if that's okay with you, or Counselor Nikki, if that's okay with you, can we answer some of these questions that are on Facebook? Let's address some, or Facebook, on TikTok. Let's address some of those, because people are speaking with us over there.
Yes.
So let's take
Yes.
this break really quick. You are listening to Our Plugs, the community connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. We will be right back after this quick commercial break.
Advertising with our plugs. The community connection opens doors to a whole new ballgame. Radio advertising is affordable, powerful, and puts your business directly in front of the people who want to support you. Plus, customers can easily find and connect with you anytime through our online directory. If you're ready to grow your brand, expand your reach, and stay connected to the community, sign up today. Visit ourplugs.com and register now. That's ourplugs.com. Plug into your community.
Hi, everyone. I'm Mara Keller, retired Army Lieutenant Colonel and candidate for Congress in Georgia's 3rd District. Now, I'm running because too many decisions in Washington are being made without listening to the people that they affect, whether it's public safety, veterans care, education, or protecting our constitutional rights. These aren't partisan issues. If you believe our government should work for everyday Americans and not special interests, I invite you to stand with us. Your donations help keep this grassroots campaign people-powered. Every donation fuels our voter outreach, ads in our shared fight for a better Georgia. Visit maurakeller.com to donate today. Let's finally serve the people who send us to Washington. And a huge thanks to DJ Kitty Cat 50 for the energy and the spotlight. Let's keep pushing.
Advertising with our
Carter's Caring Hands is here to serve the communities here in Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids, Battle Creek, as well as Southfield, Michigan. We also go out into the unhoused community, serve the community with care bags. Low-income families, our senior citizens, and our veterans with fresh food baskets each and every day, because no one should choose medication over food. We are here to serve you. Your community is our community, and our community is one community. From our hands to your hand.
Hello, everybody. My name is Monica Meeks. I'm a wife, a mom, and a soldier for life. And I'm running for the 19th Judicial District Circuit Court Clerk for Montgomery and Robertson County in Tennessee. I am so grateful for Our Plug LLC for giving me an opportunity to share my platform and explain why I'm running for office. Early voting is July 17th through August 1st, with the final day of voting on August 6, 2026. I'm an independent candidate, and I appreciate your support.
You're locked in to WKRA 92.7, the voice of the community. And listen, 2026 is all about showing up and shining. That is why we rock with Morningstar Boutique by Tam, where fashion meets confidence, purpose, and style. From everyday chic to head-turning statement pieces to some fly arm candy, Morningstar has it all. And while you're shopping, tap into the community. Discover Black-owned and minority-owned businesses at ourplugsllc.com. Also, check out morningstarboutiquebytam.com, where your light owns your style.
And we are back. You are listening to Our Plugs, the Community Connection on WKRA 92.7 The Change. Today we have our sister Nikki, Counselor Nikki. She's here with How's Your Mental. We're speaking on autism, acceptance, and awareness. And we're going to take it over to the chat really quick. So while we were on our commercial break, P had shared that she had put her son in a, what is it called? A residential program, placement in a residential program. And I asked, what is that? And she said he had to get medication changed and couldn't do it in the community. So he was placed in that home. So let me ask you, Nikki. So I guess I don't want to speak out of turn, and I don't want to step on anybody's feelings because it is a sensitive topic. But when you are raising your child and you're going through the motions of, the IEPs in school, and you're going back and forth, and your child gets to a level, do all kids take medication for autism?
No, and
go ahead.
No, all children don't, and sometimes it's and the medication is for behavior.
Okay.
So it's not for it's not like I said, like depression, and you take SSRIs. It's for the behavior. So if you're not, huh?
And so the medication helps them change their behavior,
right? So like if you have a child who has a lot of anger and a lot of aggression and it's not controlled well, there may be medication that can help with that. So it's kind of like if you think of someone who has a personality disorder, and personality disorders are not chemicals either. That's your personality. So we are treating the behaviors because they're not able to change with just therapy or just changing the environment and stuff like that. So that's the same thing. So sometimes there are children who may have, because they're experiencing, remember we're talking about the sensory part of things, and they're experiencing stuff heavier and more, it's kind of like if you see a bright light, that's how their feelings are. That's how their emotions are. It's stronger than what we feel. So sometimes they're not able to control that. So the medication is for behaviors, not for like changing your chemistry in your brain.
Okay. So maybe to calm them down.
Right. So all people who have autism don't take medication.
Yeah.
And P's comment said that they manifest other diagnoses like ADHD and mood disorders because of the autism. So that can be what she was saying, I guess the balance of the medication.
Oh
It
yeah, yeah.
might help balance those other things that
Okay, like
you know,
ADHD.
right, that help
Okay,
put them at a balance.
that makes a
And
lot of
or
sense.
if there's something else that comes out of it, like she said, another diagnosis. But
Right.
most of the time it's behaviors or other things that are happening. It's not the autism.
I get it. I get it. So when you separate that autism from those other behaviors like ADHD or those other symptoms, ADHD or
Other
bipolar
diagnosis.
or anything else, it's completely separate. So you're not actually treating the autism. You're treating
Right.
that ADHD or you're treating that bipolar disorder. Okay, that makes a lot
Or
of
the
sense.
ADHD or the symptoms, if they're
Or the
strong, like, yeah, not the actual autism.
Okay. Okay. So truly I'm trying to understand. So if that's the case, there isn't really a treatment for autism. It's more of like therapy and well,
Therapeutic.
I won't say there isn't a treatment.
It's
I would say that there is no medication that you take. There's therapy or
and
some
understanding and changing the environment and putting in things that are going to help that particular child, because it's not the same amongst everybody.
okay.
Right.
Okay.
I
So
was
it's kind of
go ahead,
go ahead.
Nikki.
It's
I
kind of
say
insulating them and putting your arms around them and putting the services they need specifically to help treat whatever they're showing, whatever's coming, their symptoms are for, or whatever, however their autism presents itself.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, Miss Morningstar.
hold on. What I was gonna say was I have been following, y'all know Tisha Campbell, right? Gina from Martin. Her
Gina.
son, her and Dwayne Martin, her ex-husband, their son, Xavier, I think his name is Xavier, or I can't remember his name, but
Xavier.
he has autism.
Mhm.
And I kind of pulled up a little article because I love the way she manages his, and he's an adult now, and she does TikTok lives, and they're funny, and it's like
Oh, okay.
comedy with him, right? And he's not he's verbal, but he's very like serious, but not so serious. But he doesn't have her but she's, we know Gina, Tish Campbell, hilarious. So
Yeah, she is.
I love how she is able to transform her acting skills to help balance his autism with empathy, or she'll do a skit like, for all you ladies out here who think you gonna get with my son, let me tell and he be in the background like, really? And I just love to see it, and I think she just found a way to support him in, during his early, maybe it was an early intervention move, I don't know, but it's therapeutic because even in his adult, she's training him to be independent. I think he is independent. He might live with her, but he's still very independent. So I just love to watch it. I follow them.
I love that because I think that every child, every person, whether you're autistic or not, people have to just learn how to deal with you, and you have to learn how to manage this crazy world. And you don't, in my opinion, hell, we all got a little something. Hell, I'm sorry, heck, we all have a little something. If you want to know the truth, you're right, P. It's a day by day journey. Every single day is something, and I find myself learning from the people that are autistic in my life. I learn from them. If you pay attention, they have you slow down. Well, the ones that I know, they have me slow down and really look at things a little bit differently. Because we're always on the rush, and the young people or the little people that I know who are autistic, they actually have me sit back and take it easy, not so quick. I don't take me slow. I don't need you to take me fast, which me myself, I love that. I do. Go ahead.
And so the whole thing too is, I think if people can take something away from it's about understanding and paying attention, right? And removing the barriers, and creating a space where they shine. And it's like, it is a daily thing, but it's also, like you said, with Tisha and her son, she's been doing this a while. And so she's gotten to this thing where she knows what he needs and when he needs it, And so it's about being this cheerleader that understands, and we're creating our world together. You're not different. You're not out here by yourself. We're creating this world, and you're going to shine, we're going to do things the way you need to do it. And you're going to be confident. You're just like everybody else. You just like to think about things differently.
Right. And I think that's what she really focused on. I'm just reading a little bit more of y'all. I can share with y'all. Like, she said some of the key aspects of their journey to get him to this point, because he even's enrolled in college. So he's doing really well.
Mm-hmm.
She said early diagnosis of in education, of course. She said he was diagnosed at 18 months. And she became a real vocal advocate to educate herself and her family about being on the spectrum,
Mm-hmm.
And then communicating and coping. She said she taught him to vocalize his needs and use specific phrases and to navigate through social situations, misunderstandings, helping him express his emotions and conditions. So that itself, that's given me a lot of information. Like, she learned his way of communicating and was able to communicate in that way to him to help him be able to cope and deal with how he would, communicate with other people. Emotional development. She used her acting skills that she had already to help process emotions and empathy for him, to help him see that. And she said a support system. We talked about that, the community. She said she gives credit to the small villages, the community, the networks, friends, family, professionals for providing emotional and practical support. I think that is huge.
Me too.
Yeah.
Because you really need a village. And they always say it takes a village to raise kids. And that's even the kid that's not autistic. It does. It takes a community. It's not just you and another parent. It really takes a community. That's teachers, that's doctors, that's grandparents, that's aunts, uncles, friends, family.
Exactly.
It takes a village to really raise a productive child. So I love that. And she said, overcoming hurdles, she has been open about the grief and the fear parents experience, but highlights celebrating small victories and fostering his independence, such as his work at the zoo and attending college. So
that's good. Yeah. I love to see that because I think that a lot of children, the autism community got a bad rap when for whatever reason, our first initial response is fear and, oh, there's something bad. And it's not like that. It's not that it's something bad. It's just something different.
Yeah.
Not everyone's going to put on their right shoe and then their left shoe. Maybe they'll put on the right shoe and then walk around for a little while and I find myself doing that quite often, or sometimes you put on mismatched shoes. Not everybody has to do everything the same. Imagine if we all were the same, how boring life would be.
Right. That's true.
We need a variety. Think about it. I love the fact that we are all different in our own unique genetic makeup. That's what makes the world beautiful. And I need people to really, socks too, right? I need people to really understand that we don't all have to be exactly the same. And there's nothing wrong with that. Go ahead, Nikki.
I think too, think about what we were saying right now, right? This is something that we do with kids. We should be doing with children anyway. We should be helping them develop who they are and allowing them to express themselves. Sometimes my child want to wear mismatched socks or mismatched Crocs. Okay. I'm gonna choose my battles. That's what you got. Have it. Do what you
I just
want to do.
And say, okay, come on.
Have a day.
So we do this. We should be doing this anyway. And the thing that is sad is, one of the things I had to learn when I was started out in social work get my bachelor's, we had to do policy, and we had to learn policy from the beginning all the way to, you know, where we were at that time and why things were the way they were. And policy with mental health started out as lock everybody up. If anybody's different, if anybody's not doing what we think they should be doing, lock them up and keep them in there. And they're messing with their brains and doing all this stuff on them. And so they weren't trying to understand. And then it swung all the way to the other end, like let everybody out, you know?
Yeah.
And we're letting them out, but we don't really know what we're supposed to do after that. Yeah. So again, it didn't have anything to do with understanding. So now, and even with autism, it didn't start as a spectrum. It was like you're either this or you're either that. There was no spectrum to it. And then evolved into, you know what, there's more to it than this. And that's why people went undiagnosed, or it went underdiagnosed, because it's like you have to fit into these two categories to be diagnosed with it. If you don't, then that's not what's going on with you. You just need to go get yourself together.
Wow.
And then they realize, like, wait, no, this is different for each person. It's individualized. There's a whole spectrum of how this can present itself. So we just have to really work. And that's what I think awareness is about, and is understanding and learning and trying to include versus pushing away, locking it up, and we're not going to talk about it.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that we've come this far. You know, 10, 15, 20 years ago, there was an issue, you know, we saw a lot of parents saying, hey, you know, we need some sort of understanding for our children. They aren't bad children. They aren't children who need to be locked away. They just need to be understood. And their way of learning, like we said earlier, they are very intelligent. Maybe they're more so intelligent that we haven't caught up with them.
Right.
You know,
and I think for the parents, they also need that support, because a lot of the times I've seen some parents blame themselves, like, why is my child this way? And I think it's a state of mind. I think you have to get into the state of mind that, like you said, my child is different because this is who they are. They're unique. Yeah. We can't always assume our kids are going to be just like we are. I have always like, well, I don't do things that way. Well, your child is not you. They're different. Right. They're their own unique individual. Yes, they share some of your characteristics because of who you are, and you know, they're surrounded by you. Of course, you pick up traits of your parents, you pick up their traits, but who they are individually is who they are, you know. Yeah. And I think a lot of people who go through this probably need the therapeutic treatment themselves, just so they can mentally understand, no, it's nothing wrong with your kid. It's just who they are. And you just have to adapt and adjust to tweak it to try to fit their needs.
Right. I know there are a lot of support groups out there. My cousins are, they have so many things going on with the autism awareness groups. There's a Facebook group. There's local groups that you can actually find and go and share in this experience. And I want parents to understand that you're not alone. There's always more people out here who are, I won't say dealing with, because it's not dealing with, who are managing, or they are blessed to have a child who's just a little bit different. And I won't even say different. I would say more, in some cases, more advanced. You know, there are a lot of kids. You ever seen those kids who can solve a puzzle immediately? Or Ulysses, she said that her son's been coding with her since he was 11 years old. Coding is actually building, it's what makes your computers run, and the codes that create apps. That is in my mind, that is a genius mind, because you're seeing it differently. You're not just seeing words across, you can actually read it and understand how to develop it. That right there is, it's a beautiful mind. I love it. And I'm glad to see that there are so many people who are not just accepting, but wanting to encourage people and let them know that, hey, We're all in this together. We are,
Yeah.
no one's immune. Go ahead.
And you are 100% correct. There are a lot of groups out there. Autism Speaks is one of the biggest ones that you hear about a lot of times. And it's a real big directory of autism friendly community groups. They got peer groups, recreation programs, parent support groups, and different online communities. So that's a huge one if you look that one up. There's an Association for Autism and Neurodiversity. It's AANE. They have support groups for autistic teens and adults, and some are free and open, and some are fee-based and closed. And they also have a parent group too, and they have some gender-specific groups. It's called the Association for Autism and Neurodiversity. There's a global and regional autism spectrum partnership, GRASP, and they have online support groups for adults and neurodiversity affirming spaces on there too. So it's a lot of stuff. But if you go on Autism Speaks, you'll find a lot of stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful. That is really good to hear, because we need the resources. Can you tell us the difference between autism and neurodivergent?
So both have to do with the way that your brain, the way that you process stuff, right? And so neurodiversity, a lot of times people say that's more like concentration issues and stuff like that. That's closer to like ADHD kind of symptoms. But there was this probably about 10 years ago or so, I started seeing a lot of stuff come up about neurodiversity. When I lived in Georgia, there was this place that they would do this assessment on you. And if they felt like that's what was going on, they would figure out what side of your brain was like reacting the most. And then they would do different things and have you do repetitive things to train the other side to be just as strong. So there's these, it was like cutting edge stuff. And I'm like, I hadn't heard of that, maybe 10 or 15 years ago. And it was really interesting because they were using, it's not therapy. It's like brain training, retraining the way that your brain is working.
Oh, wow.
It's like, oh, you're having these, and they were doing it with children. My friend's son, he was going through it. He was having some issues, and they're like, it's not ADHD, it's neurodiversity, and here's how we're going to work on it.
What's the sign?
What's the difference?
Yeah, what's the sign?
It was like concentration, or not, like you can't, like you're kind of going from one thing to the other. Like you can't stay focused on certain things.
Oh, you're
he had some behavior stuff. Yeah, he had some behavior stuff going on. The way that he look at things or say things or react to things is different than what they're expecting you to do or whatever. So he had some other stuff going on. And then when they did the testing, they did neuropsych testing. They did testing for mental health diagnosis because they want to rule everything out before they focus in on one thing. They tested for ADHD and autism. And then they did, I don't know what special test they did, but she was telling me he was over there for weeks doing testing on and off, because they can only do so much at a time. They don't do it all at one time.
Yeah.
So you're doing little pieces here and there, and then he'd have little stuff he has to do at home. And it was really interesting. And he would have little things after they figured out what it was. It was something about the left side of his brain and the way it was working. And they wanted the right side to be developed more to kind of offset that. And they gave him different things to do. And you started seeing little changes. And I'm like, that is crazy.
Wow.
Wow.
It
was really something.
So let me ask you one more, and then I know we're about to wrap, but I do have one more question. Asperger's, that's a form of autism, correct?
Yes.
Can you explain what that is?
So that's when I was talking about how they were saying, like, you have autism or it was not a spectrum. You had autism or you had Asperger's. Asperger's was the part of autism that they say that had to do with your socialization. Right. So like if you didn't like to be around other kids, sometimes it had to do with if you could speak or not, but it had more to do with your socialization. Okay. And so that's what they were trying to say. Either if you can't be around, it's hard for you to be around other kids, or you want to kind of withdraw, or you have behavior issues, or you act out, or you have these things because there's other people around, or you're not playing with them, you're kind of separating yourself. And so it was more of that, and you're nonverbal. Then autism was the rest of everything else. And then they're like, okay, people don't fit into these two categories. And then it became a spectrum. When the DSM-TR came out, it became a spectrum. and they took Asperger's out.
Okay. All right.
So,
All right. This is very informative. It really is. I mean, for someone who is just for people who are just now learning and doing a deep dive, or they may have young people, or even if you've been dealing with this for years, it's always good to get a refresher and learn what is going on. I'm so glad you did this topic, because I think it's really, really important for all of us to understand we're all different. We really and truly are. What would you suggest? I know that we said, go to the doctors and everything, but what would you suggest for people when they're dealing with it and they have a child who is just now going into public school, and maybe they're in pre-K, kindergarten, what would you suggest? Sitting with the teacher, getting on that IEP? Give us some tips on that for new parents.
Yeah, so if you're a new parent, you're starting to see these things, you've gone to the doctor, they said this is what you got going on. Usually I would say, if you can, early enough in there, early on, get with the school to see what they offer, what programs they have going on, what your child needs, and explain who your child is to them. Get with the teacher. Hey, can I meet with you? This is what my child has going on. Get something put in place so that your child is comfortable, when they're going to school, that they have some of those things. They're not going to ever be able to give your child what you gave them, but they can create the environment that they need. Maybe, they can only have 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 20 minutes in the classroom, and then they have to be taken out for a little bit, So make sure you're advocating for your child and saying, these are the things that work. These are the things I've noticed. These are the barriers that my child has that I would like to have help with at school. Maybe your child can't take the bus, but you can't take them to school. Is there a van? Can we put that in there? Is there a van that can pick my child up at the door and drop my child back off, because my child can't be on the bus with the other kids? Right. My child is having issues with speaking. Is there speech that we can put in there? So advocate for what your child needs to be successful.
This is why we need the IEP. And this is the fight that we're up against with the department, with the government in the Department of Education, as they try to have cut money in that big nasty bill and this is one of the programs, the IEP, that could be cut, because the funding comes from the federal government for that. And these kids need that. This is therapeutic. This is a discipline. This is not, we just doing, giving you money. We just doing stuff.
No, these children
need this. That these kids absolutely need for their development and well-being. And the way that this Lord, just help us get this man out of office, because the way they brush this off, and like I saw Queen's comment, the Tylenol situation and all this weird stuff that they have no idea what they're talking about, is going to be detrimental to our kids. So yeah, y'all make sure y'all vote. We got to change this narrative.
Yeah, we do. We have to, because our kids they're the ones that'll be most affected. We've lived our lives. Our kids are going to be most affected by how this government is stripping away all their protections, all the things that can help them throughout their lives. So, this is a subject that we will continue to talk about, and we will revisit, because it's needed, and it's needed in every single community. There's no one is immune. No one. I don't care who you are. Nikki, thank you. As always, you come in and you give us the wisdom that we need. We truly appreciate you. Our family out on TikTok and YouTube and all, and Facebook, Instagram, we appreciate you guys listening and joining in this conversation. Nikki, thank you. Any last words for our family, our listening audience out there?
Yes, this is not a reflection of you. If something is going on with your child, or, maybe your adult child that you're noticing, ask for help, tell people what you need, advocate for the child. Don't put this N word on yourself. It's not you. And your child will be okay.
Yeah.
Create, let's make sure we're trying to understand and we're trying to include and we're trying to break down barriers. Asking for help is okay.
Absolutely. It really and truly is. Great show, Nikki. Great advice, great communication. 100 across, 10 out of 10. Highly recommend. Miss Morningstar, can you go ahead and take us home, honey?
Absolutely, guys. Thank you, Nikki. What a great show. Was so informational and educational for myself. So thank
Me
you so
too.
much. I feel like I'm much more smarter. See, this is the kind of conversation we need, y'all, because all the buffoonery make us a little slower every time we hear it. So Memphis, Tennessee, Holly Springs, Mississippi, we thank you as always for being such a great support and listening to the show. Come back though. We'll be back again tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time as always on WKRA 92.7. The Change. We appreciate you as well. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, all of our social platforms, YouTube. We appreciate you all for tuning in. Until then, y'all have a great day. Be great, be safe. We love y'all. Thank you. As we wrap up today's show, we want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in, tapping in, and staying connected to your community.
Remember, this platform exists to uplift Black-owned businesses, nonprofits, creatives, and community leaders who are doing the work that moves us forward.
Make sure you support today's guests. Share the show. Stay plugged into our plugs, because when we support each other, we all rise.
Until next time, keep believing, keep building, and keep shining. You've got this.
You've been listening to Our Plugs, the community connection where communities meet opportunity. We'll see you next time.